Your Honor, fellow Scouters and Scouts. The New Brunswick Pioneer Award is presented annually to the Scout Troop Adventure Company, which has carried out the most adventurous and innovative outdoor scouting activity in the previous year. The award was given in memory of contributions of Scouter Charlie Slane of McGivney, who himself promoted adventurous and innovative scouting in his time. I was chairman of the panel of 3 judges to judge the applications for the Pioneer Award this year, along with Miramichi Pioneer Stevenson Wheatley and Brian Wilson. We were pleased to receive 5 qualifying awards this year, qualifying applications. 2 of the applications, one from the Scout Group and one from a venture company, stood out and were judged to be equivalent. We therefore declared a tie, and I am pleased to announce that the 2018 Pioneer Award will be shared by First Evergreen Park Venturers and First St. Margaret Scouts. Their names will both be inscribed on the trophy. I now invite the representatives from the First Evergreen Venturers to come forth and give a report on their adventures.
Your Honor, fellow Scouts and Scouters, my name is Mark and
And my name is Kolton Reynolds. Mark and I are here today to tell you about our group, First Evergreen's Venturers trip to Ketchikan last spring. Our original trip was planned for the May long weekend, but it was originally for the Mount Carlton Provincial Park, but due to flooding in that park, we were unable to attend. We had to get about a week notice to replan our trip and find somewhere new to go. We ended up selecting Ketchikan National Park. The venturers who attended this event were Russell Wallace, Mark Finnemore, Xavier Delcourt, Emily Arsenault, Lynn Bachman, Liam McGill, Madison McNutt, and myself.
We knew that staying at Ketchikan Park would be a new experience for all members involved, because it was a park that none of us had ever been at before. Friday morning, we gathered for a final meeting, packing up our gear, food, and people. We left Moncton by 9 a.m. and arrived at approximately 1 p.m. in the park.
The day we arrived, it was very sunny and a beautiful day in general. With the help of everybody, we quickly got everything unpacked from the canoe trailer, did a quick review of canoe safety, got out on the water by 2 o'clock. Some of the advisors ended up going back to our base camp to start setting up things while we did a trip across the lake. After about 3 hours, we decided to take a break from paddling.
The location we chose to stop at during our break from paddling turned out to have a name, and it was Echo Cove. We learned about Echo Cove due to a sign posted there, and it was aptly named this because you could cry out anywhere on the beach, and you could receive a very loud echo in response, even though there was no clear objects for it to echo off of. We discovered this, and we all started joining in, just crying around and having a wonderful time. Once we were all rested, we decided to strike for our base camp, spending approximately 45 more minutes of paddling in order to get to where we had to be. We portaged the canoes from the lake up to our base camp and finished setting it up, including tents and everything. Once everything was set up, we had a final supper and went to bed quite early, anxious for the incredible day we knew would follow.
When we got up in the morning, we had a quick breakfast, packed up all our gear into vehicles, and drove off to our put-out point for the hike. At 10:30 a.m., we arrived at the parking lot close to Big Dam Lake, which was our put-out point. We were going to be hiking into a deep woods backpacking campsite that had no car access. Before we left, we had selected the campsite, which was going to be campsite number 44, and it was going to roughly be a 30-kilometer round trip.
One of the fantastic parts about this hike was the fact that we, the venturers, did it fully alone, with no advisors on the hike with us. So we got to push ourselves and truly try a new experience for all of us. The trails in Ketchikan are well marked, so it was quite easy to stay on the right path, or so we thought. For the first couple of kilometers, we were able to walk 2 by 2 as we had practiced, but then the trail started to narrow and we had to walk single file. Every 20 minutes or so, whoever was leading the group would fall back and take the rear position and someone would step forward. This allowed us to keep a measured pace and to keep us together.
As we continued towards our destination, we all talked and took in all the beautiful sights of the park. We may have been talking a bit too much though, as around 2 hours into the hike, we realized we had missed a side trail and gone about a kilometer off course. Once we realized this by looking at our map, we took a moment to realign ourselves with the map, check with the scouters over the two-way radios to figure out where we were, and find our way back to the side trail and take it down towards our campsite.
We continued talking for the rest of the hike and tried to keep everyone motivated because by this time we were all very exhausted. And having missed this trail, it forever loomed above us, the threat of becoming lost again. So we checked and triple checked every turn we took.
At around 6:15 p.m., we finally made it to the campsite. Everyone was so relieved to see campsite 44 on a sign, even though we then learned it was about a quarter of a kilometer away from the site, and we practically ran the rest of the way. But when we first got to the site, we took a few minutes to explore the campsite, figure out where we'd set up our tents, then set to start getting supper cooked. While it was cooking, we set up our tents. We then checked in over the two-way radios to let our advisors know we had arrived. We had a small campfire that was provided as we were not allowed to collect deadfall because of the provincial park. We then tidied up our fire and went to bed.
At some point during the night, the skies opened up and poured rain, not unlike it was today. We all woke up around 7 a.m. Sunday morning to a cold, cloudy, and miserable morning, with the rain still pouring down. After we ate our quick breakfast and packed up our gear, we started to take down our campsite. We also had to replenish our water supply from a nearby river, cleaning it, be it through boiling or sanitation outlets.
No one was looking forward to the hike on the way back, as the trail was going to be mostly swamp for the first 5 kilometers of the hike, and everyone was going to be hot and sweaty due to our rain suits. But we prevailed and went through and started heading back.
We'd like to also take a quick second to thank 2 unknown gentlemen that we met along the path. Along the path at an intersection, we met 2 very fantastic men who we don't even know their names. They topped up our water, they topped up our spirit and our energy to keep the hike going. One of them even offered to hike back with us to carry the pack to someone who was struggling. So whoever you 2 men are and wherever you are, we'd like to say thank you.
By 11:40 a.m., we were getting tired and hungry, so we decided to stop and have some lunch. Conveniently, it was at the same spot we had stopped on the way in, a spot we had named Lunch Rock. We named it after a large rock that was there that we affectionately named Rocky. Rocky was a giant boulder with lots of moss on it that was a blast to climb on. After a few more stops on the way back, we finally made it back to our starting position at 3:30 p.m.
We are a tired and sorry-looking group as we finally arrived with wet hair and wet hats. Our advisors met us in the parking lot with food and water, and we immediately headed back to our base camp. Once there, we turned our kitchen shelter into a medical tent for the numerous blisters, bruises, and small cuts that all members, except yours truly, were coated with.
The next morning was beautiful, not unlike the Friday we arrived on. The only difference was it was a bit more windy and slightly cooler, which was actually very nice after the hot money day beforehand. We slept until around 8 a.m. We then got up, started cleaning up camp a bit. Once the camp was mostly clean, our head advisor, Advisor Ken, called us all together to confirm who was going to be going on a paddling trip just across the lake for an hour or 2. The venturers who decided to go were Mark, Russell, and Emily. The rest of us decided to stay back and help finish up tidying up the camp. The advisors who went were Advisor Ken and Robert.
As we were paddling around, me and Russell did the one thing you usually do not want to do in a canoe. We flipped it. The surprising thing was just how quickly it happened. We had flipped canoes in pools before and in practice, but it always took a lot of effort. but this time it didn't. One moment we were perfectly fine, and the next we were underwater. However, due to the extensive training we had received, me and Russell were able to react quickly, and we were able to perform a perfect practical canoe-over-canoe rescue. Once the canoe was back over, however, I swapped out with Emily, who was in a kayak, and she paddled back with Russell, just in case.
By the time all was said and done and we were leaving the campsite, it was 5 p.m. Meaning when we finally arrived back at Moncton, it was very late, almost 10 o'clock at night, and everyone was very tired and drained from the long weekend they'd had. We unpacked the gear as quickly as we could so we could all get home and have a nice long rest. This trip was an amazing trip, and it was our group's first solo wilderness lightweight backpacking trip. And despite all the blisters, being soaked, the tick or two that was found, and the allergic reaction, everything was amazing, and it inspired us even more to reschedule our Mount Carlton trip, which we actually did earlier this fall.
Thank you.
Thank you.